The way the industry functions at the moment is that there are shooters who receive tags from landholders which enable them to harvest on that landholder's property. They then attach the tag to the kangaroo. It goes to a processor. The processor cannot take any roos that aren't tagged. The process is very carefully audited. So there's not really any point in any outside of the tag thing happening.
They have a code of practice which is legally unenforceable, but even if it were, nobody is there to monitor at the point of kill, which is where the cruelty takes place. The shooters act alone in desolate isolation under the most terrible conditions. The kangaroos, where they lay, where they are shot, amongst all the dirt, the flies, the bacteria, the feces of other animals, and that's where they are shot and lay until they are hung on the truck and so on.
For one, we're not allowed to shoot them until it's dark, so there's no flies around. For two, once you've shot the roo, within 3 minutes, you're supposed to pick it up and bleed it. And then within half an hour, they're all supposed to be gutted.
The fact that we're driving around at night time, we're approaching the animals when they're in their most docile state. They're out feeding, they're comfortable, it's night time, they're cool. And because of our code of practice, which ensures that it's a one-shot kill to the brain, then science would tell you that the kangaroo doesn't even hear the shot. I mean, our rifles are travelling at speeds in excess of sound anyway, so when the projectile hits them, they don't even get to hear the report of the rifle.
Everything's done as clean as you could get out in the paddock, and no, they're not left lying because, I mean, nobody's going to want to gut a root that's been left lying there because, trust me, they swell up very quickly and they stick. So they're done immediately, no.
There's an expectation by anyone that eats something that's manufactured, that comes from a natural source or a manufactured source for that matter, that product is wholesome. And so I pay, and the rest of the industry pays, particular attention to ensure that the product which we produce is wholesome. So the food safety aspect of how my vehicle's prepared, how I operate when I'm using the vehicle, is of paramount importance as a commercial harvester.
The issue with kangaroos is that they can have a young in the pouch, they can also have a dependent young, which is called at foot, and we're very concerned that when a female kangaroo is shot, that the welfare of the joey is also a major consideration, and that joey is actually killed humanely as well. If we're killing the mother, the female, then these joeys will just die from starvation or with the lack of their mother for protection from predation or exposure. And we believe that as humans have been involved in that, we should then be responsible for the welfare of that joey and try and minimise the suffering of that joey.
I stick by the book. Humanely kill the joey.
It might not look nice because most of them cut their throats, but their knives are as sharp as, and it's within 2 seconds, and I mean a little joey, it's not much to cut its throat. Yeah, and it's very quick and it's humane, and it's the same as what they're doing in an abattoir to do sheep, and people eat sheep and they cut their throats, and it's quick if you know what you're doing.
The issue that is seriously worth thinking about is what happens when the mother has a young at foot who's effectively left the pouch but still coming back to suckle. And the best ways to solve that, and a lot of shooters try and do this, is to not shoot females that have got a young at foot, and also they always try and focus on harvesting the male animals.
There's nothing that I've seen so far, and I research my industry fairly heavily, and I don't believe there's anything that's been indicated so far, although we do tend to be biased towards the large males in the population. There's nothing that I've seen that's indicated that the genes differ that greatly between species and population pockets, which would indicate that the harvest is having an effect on those alpha male genes being passed through the rest of the population.
Your best bucks are staying alive, so there's less inbreeding, and well, they're a hell of a lot healthier roos now, even in drought time. They're still doing a lot better than what they were before they started really culling them properly. So yeah, no, I think it's even benefited the kangaroos. And I mean, obviously it benefits the harvester too, because it's an income. It benefits everyone. It helps us, like we don't pay for the roo shooter and he doesn't pay us, but he's doing us a service and we're doing him a service. So everyone wins, I think.